Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we are ranking rom-com couples based on how likely they would stay together after the movie is done. I have done one ranking video before on this channel, ranking sitcoms based on pilot episodes, and I thought that video was very fun to make, and I wanted to do it again. I wanted to rank again, and I also thought it would be a nice little break from doing just reaction videos. We've been doing a lot, so I wanted to switch it up a little bit. Today's rankings, of course, are about rom-com couples. I am not taking into consideration the plot of the movie or the movie itself. It's based only on the two main love characters, based on like their chemistry, their scenes together, and just like the overall vibe of the relationship. So without further ado, let's look at our tier ranking list, and I'll show you the movies that we're going to be ranking the main characters on. Alrighty, we have 4 tiers in this list. The top tier is the blueprint tier. This is like they made me believe in love type shit. And this is like they have, not that they have no problems, but like if they had any problems, they could come to a conclusion about it in a healthy way. That's tier 1. Tier 2 is could survive couples therapy. They have problems. They're not like in sync completely, but with some like therapy, some talking to other people, other professionals, they could make it work. They just need a little help, you know. Tier number 3 is they're breaking up during their credits. Like they made it to the end of the movie, sure, but like they're not gonna make it out of the credit scenes. And our bottom tier, 4th and final tier, is surprised they even made it to the end of the movie. I don't know how many couples are gonna get in the bottom tier for this ranking, but I feel like there are a lot of rom-coms that it's like, how did they even make it to the end of the movie? They do not like each other at all. They fight all the time, or like the vibes are just like not completely there, you know? Now that we know our tiers, let's meet our couples that we're going to be ranking today. Up first, we have Patrick and Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You. One of the greatest rom-coms of all time, in my opinion. I also did a video on that if you want to go check that out. Couple number 2 from the same movie, we have Bianca and Cameron. Yeah, we'll talk about them, how we feel about them. But couple number 3, Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky from To All the Boys I Loved Before. This is only going to be the first movie. I know it's a series. I think there's like 3 movies. We're not doing all 3, mainly because I haven't watched all 3, but we're only going to base it on the very first movie. Next up, we have Ben and Andy from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, another top tier rom-com. Next up, we have Margaret and Andrew from The Proposal, where my love for Sandra Bullock started during that movie. Next, we have Lori and Amy from Little Women. I can't wait to talk about that movie. Next up, we have Jane and Kevin from a very, very underrated rom-com, 27 Dresses. Next, we have Cher and Josh, Clueless. Then we have Charlie and Harper from Set It Up, relatively new rom-com, I'd say. And last but not least, we have Rachel and Nick from Crazy Rich Asians. Those are our couples. This is our tier list. Without further ado, let's just get right in to ranking couples. This ranking is also coming from somebody who is single. I just want to put that out there. And yeah, I have nothing else to say about that, but that. We're going to start off with, who should we start off with? Should we start off with Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky? We're going to start off with Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky from oh my god, I almost said How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, from To All the Boys I Loved Before. Like I said, when I was like introducing the couples, I have only seen the first movie of this. I haven't seen the other ones, so I have no idea really how like their couple progresses in the other movies. I have seen the second one with, I can't remember what his name is, but I do remember that I like that guy more than I like Peter. I'm gonna try to not bring the second movie, my thoughts about the second movie, into this. We're just gonna go based off the first one. Look, I love a shy girl meets like popular jock boy. They I don't know, that's like a trope that I low-key love a lot in rom-coms. And I feel like it worked very well in this. I feel like Laura Jean, and when I say she's a shy girl, I feel like she's not even that shy. She's just like, because she came out of her shell a lot during that movie, I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly. But still, like, in the realm of, like, Peter and his friends, I guess, yeah, she was shy. Based on only, like, their scenes together. Oh, they do have another, like, trope that I love in rom-coms, which is the, like, fake dating. Bruh, I love a fake dating trope. I feel like, I mean, it always works out that they fall in love with each other, and that's the point. That's what's so good about it. Never fails to work that they end up together and they end up in love. I feel like I did like them together a lot. Think their chemistry was very good during the movie. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like from his end, though, there were unresolved feelings with the girl that he broke up with. I think her name was Jen in the movie. Like, they broke up in the very beginning of the movie, and then it was like, I'm trying to get her back, which I don't like. I don't like that trope of, like, I'm just finding another girl to get back at my ex. It can go both ways, girls or guys. Like, I just feel like that's very icky and very messy. Like, I don't know, jumping from one relationship into another one and then expecting that one to work is just, like, not the vibe for me. So, I don't know, that's how I feel about him, I guess. With her, I remember a big part of, like, her hesitations in the movie was that she didn't want all of her firsts to be, like, a lie. And she was very adamant, like, I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to do, like, blah, 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 because I want to save it for somebody I'm actually interested in. Which I feel like was very, like, a very good point on her part. I wouldn't want all my firsts to be fake either, you know? But eventually, of course, they did stuff. The hot tub scene. I know you know what I'm talking about if you've seen this movie. But oh my god. Oh wait, no. I was going to say I've heard something about the third movie, but I forget I'm not going to bring my thoughts about that movie into this one. As far as their coupling, I feel like they're good. Are they the blueprint though? No. I feel like I kind of watched this movie and then, like, as soon as I watched it, I kind of forgot about it low key. I'm not going to put them in the top tier or the bottom tier. Right now I'm looking in could survive couples therapy or break up during the credits. And I low-key feel like I think I'm gonna put it in break up in the edits just feels right to me. I feel like they didn't have, I'm gonna put it, because of it's just the first movie and not the second movie, I'm gonna put it in could survive couples therapy, I think, actually. I feel like they didn't have any problems in this first movie. Again, they're not the blueprint, though. Like, there's other couples that are definitely going to be in the blueprint, and they're just not one of them. They're not my favorite couple, but they're not, like, the least favorite either, you know? I feel like that's a nice, healthy place to put them. I also wanted to talk about my favorite scene with each of these couples. So, my favorite scene for Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky, I mean, it has to be the hot tub scene. The moment when the song started playing, when she, like, dips her foot into the pool or into the hot tub, like, so good. It's so good. And that's, like, finally the moment where she, like, lets him in and is like, you know what, I don't want to keep playing this, like, fake dating, fake relationship with you. I want you. That is such a good scene. I love that scene. Next up, we're gonna talk about Margaret and Andrew from The Proposal. I watched this movie a lot when I was younger and growing up. This started, like, my love for Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds, honestly. He was very good looking in this movie. Dude, also this movie is just, like, such a comfort movie. I feel like everybody loves this movie. It's so funny. It's so good. But if we're focusing only on the coupling, I honestly feel like they're making it out. Like, I feel like if you haven't seen the movie, in the beginning of the movie, she is very, like, girl boss, independent, I don't need a man type woman, and that's so amazing. That's so great for her. But, like, you could obviously tell that she did crave, I feel like, a relationship at some point. Like, she didn't want to be alone anymore, in a way, I feel like. Basically, she's, like, about to get I almost said deported. like the Hamza and Martin thing.
Deported.
I don't know. She like something about her visa is up and she has to like go back to Canada if she doesn't get like married or like refile for a visa. And so Andrew, who is somebody that works under her in her job, she proposes to him and they get married, and it's like a whole thing about them like trying to make it believable that they're actually in love with each other. It's kind of like fake dating as well, which we've established is a trope I like. And yeah, it's just so good. Them as a couple, I feel like works very well. They're very sarcastic. Both of them are very, very sarcastic. And I feel like they both brought out different parts of themselves. I feel like Andrew brought out Margaret's like softer side, obviously, as you can see through the film. She becomes like very, I don't know, like just soft again, like very like love, not like super lovey-dovey, I guess, but like just softer and kinder to people. I think Margaret helped him like work through some family drama that he had. He has like a very estranged relationship with his father. His father like wants him to move back to Alaska and like keep the family business going, and he's like very much like, I want to pursue writing and like literature and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be a business guy like you. He has like a very rocky relationship with his family because of that. And nearing the end of the movie, I feel like she kind of helps bring like the family all together again. And I feel like that's such a beautiful thing. As far as their relationship goes, yeah, I feel like they're really good together. I'm not gonna lie. They're just so funny together. And it started off again fake dating. They ended up falling in love with each other. And for that reason, I'm going to put them in front of Laura Jean and Peter, but in the same tier. Could survive couples therapy. I feel like down the line they could have problems that maybe like they wouldn't communicate the best. I could see these two having like different communication styles. And I feel like they could like definitely be in couples therapy at some point. So for that reason, I'm going to put them in front of Laura Jean and Peter, but in the same tier. My favorite scene of theirs in the proposal, I mean, probably the first one that comes to mind, so must be my favorite, is the like shower scene. Bro, he is like chopping wood, just had a fight with his dad, is like very angry, very sweaty. He's whatever. She just got back from her bachelorette party with like all of his like girl people in his life, like female friends in his life. And she goes and takes a shower, realizes, oh my god, I don't have a towel. Go out. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's my favorite scene of theirs. I'm not explaining it well at all. Another good one is obviously the end, where it's like an angry love confession, and he finally like stands up for himself and like becomes like the dominant one in the relationship. I feel like when he's like, I love you, and kisses her in front of all of their coworkers in the office. That's also a great scene. Next, we're gonna talk about Patrick and Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You. This was also a very big comfort movie of mine growing up. We watched it like every time it was on TV. And bro, Heath Ledger in this movie is everything. Every guy that I have like a crush on or like kind of embodies Heath Ledger in some way. Probably because I watched this movie so young. Anyways, oh my god, Patrick and Kat, bro. Also, Kat Stratford, I remember wanting to be exactly like her when I was a kid. And still to this day, I like strive to be Kat Stratford. I love her so much. She has her problems, yes, of course, and so does he. But them together is just so like this is what my dream relationship looks like. Is them. This was like my first introduction to like enemies to lovers ish. They're not like super hard enemies, but they're like, it's very like, oh, will they, won't they type. Not even will they, won't they. What am I saying? I guess it is enemies to lovers. Like, he is trying to get with her. She's like, no, I don't want you. again, I'm like Margaret, she's a very independent woman, doesn't need a man. We love that for female characters. But eventually she comes around to it. I just feel like these two make so much sense together. They're both like very like edgy and like tortured souls type characters, and they fit together so perfectly. They're also very sarcastic as well. And their sarcasm like feeds off each other, and they have great chemistry in my opinion. I know this relationship started on like a lie or like a bet, and I feel like that could be a potentially like reoccurring issue in the relationship. Like I feel like if I was with a guy and I found out that he like just got with me because of a bet, bruh, I'd be pissed off, dude. I like that would be like a thing in the back of my mind for forever. And I feel, or maybe not forever, but like for a while. And I feel like it could potentially be a thing in the back of her mind as well. With that being said, though, in the same breath, I feel like he would like do anything for her. Like he just gives off that vibe of like, I love this girl so much that like I would do anything for her. And for those reasons, I feel like they're the perfect couple, bro. Like, I don't know. She very obviously is like a very opinionated character and will like, she's very blunt. She tells it like it is to anybody who will listen. And I feel like he does a good job at like taking what she's saying into account, but also like giving his 2 cents in. Like he doesn't let her walk all over him. And I feel like she needs that. And I feel like that is a very good indicator of their relationship as well. For me personally, they're going in the blueprint section. I'm sorry. This is the movie that made me realize what I want in life, and that is Patrick Verona. So for that reason, they're going in the blueprint section. My favorite scene of theirs, it's so hard to pick. They're all so good. It's probably the angry love confession on her part when she's like reading her poem and she's like, I hate the way you make me laugh, even more so when you make me cry. Oh my god, that scene is so good. That one's really good. Their first date paintballing is very good. When she flashes the teacher to get him out of detention, good. Their first meet on the soccer field, good. Like all of their scenes together are good. So it's too hard for me to pick a favorite. I'm so sorry. I feel like since we're talking about 10 Things I Hate About You, might as well just stick with the other couple in this movie, Bianca and Cameron. Like I said, have watched this movie a lot growing up. I grew up hating Bianca, not even low-key, high-key hating Bianca, and thinking she was annoying, thinking like she was this and that, whatever. After like growing up a little bit, watching it again, I feel like the hate was unjustified on my part. She is a little bit of an annoying character, yes, but she's just a girl. Like, she's just a girl. She's like 15 in this movie. She's just like a sophomore in high school. And she's just like, of course she's gonna get with the popular guy, like Joey. Like, why would she not try to do that? I feel like every girl like wants that in some capacity when they're in high school and when they're young. So I feel like I can't blame her anymore. About this coupling, look, I do love them together. I can't say I don't. And I want to say that they would make so much sense in high school, like after high school, but I just feel like I don't know. I honestly don't even think they'd make it to like their senior year, if I'm being so honest. Like, I feel like I don't know. I could just see, honestly, either of them like finding better matches for themselves. I don't know why. I just feel like they're a very like on again, off again couple that everybody knows. Like, they're together and in love one second, the next minute they break up. Like, that's the kind of vibe I get from them. I don't know. You can share your thoughts on this too, on any of these couples, on anything I'm saying about these couples, but with them, I just feel like it's so one-sided on his part And I get they're like the trope of like he fell first, she fell like harder maybe. But like I just feel like he's more into her than she is into him. Even at the end of the movie when like prom happens and she sticks up for him and it seems like she's into him, I still feel like he likes her more than she likes him, unfortunately. And I feel like if they did somehow manage to make it out like senior year, I feel like they're going to go to different colleges. They're going to break up anyway. Patrick and Kat, I feel like even if they did go to different colleges, I feel like it would work. I feel like they would make it work. Bianca and Cameron, I don't think so. I think for those reasons, I mean, and of course, like going back to what I said about one-sided, he literally learned French for her. What did she do for him? I'm just kidding. But for these reasons, I'm putting them in breaking up during the credits. I mean, they made it out of the movie, of course, but like I feel like soon after they would find a reason to break up. And my favorite scene of theirs is the prom scene, duh, when Joey comes in and is like, "You took my girl to prom with the hat," and like is beating Cameron up, and Bianca just comes in, boom, breaks his nose. Favorite scene. Or on his part is the "I learned French for you" scene after the party. Also a great scene. Next couple we're gonna talk about is Ben and Andy from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This movie I didn't watch growing up. I watched it very recently, like within the past couple years, like 4 years, I'd want to say. And they, bro, it's the bet again, but the bet on both of their parts was, which I think is interesting, that they both like didn't want to be with each other in the beginning and then ended up like falling in love with each other. What I will say though, at the end when it like came out that it was a bet on both of their parts, they both were very angry. Like, you also were in the bet, you know what I mean? You were also playing me. Like, she was very mad at him that he was using her to get a promotion, but it's like, babe, you were also using him to get ahead in your career and write like an article about him or like a piece for the magazine about him. So like, why are you guys both angry? You both did it to the other person as well. Like, what? With Ben and Andy, I feel like they are a great couple, but my hesitation comes with their relationship. I feel like started on a lie. I mean, it's a lie on both of their parts, of course, but like she wasn't acting her true self. Like majority of the time they spent together. The only time that she was like really herself was the first night that they met when they went to the place to get whatever the seafood thing, and she was like, "Is all fair in love and war?" or whatever they said. She was like actually being herself that time. And then again when they went to visit his family, she was herself during that trip. Like, they hung out multiple times in those 10 days and she was only herself like two or 3 days out of the 10. So it's like, do you guys really know each other that well? I don't know. But I guess I will say, when she was like being herself and not being like the crazy woman, I guess we'll say, her other persona, I feel like they did like each other, duh, obviously. Like, they were very into each other. And I feel like he also matches her crazy a little bit too, when they were like angrily singing at each other during his business's party or whatever, when they were singing what's that song? Bro, what the fuck is that song? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. I'm thinking Benny and the Jets, but that's 27 Dresses. That's not this movie. Oh, and all the girls think that they be your partner. You're so vain. When they were singing that at each other, like at the party, he matched her freak, like high key. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're good together. Like, they're both are a little crazy, sure, but like it works. I guess I would have the same hesitation as I would with the Patrick Kat situation, as like it started on a lie. it started on, like, your relationship started on a rocky foundation, so how can you be, like, super sure? But I guess, like, if they both did it to each other, it's not as bad as one person doing it to the other. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like they definitely would have some underlying issues in this relationship. I think I'm going to put them in couples therapy, which is a little ironic because they did go to couples therapy in the movie. It was fake couples therapy, but couples therapy nonetheless. I'm going to put them in front of, I think, in front of Margaret and Andrew, honestly, but in the same tier. I feel like if I had a tier below the blueprint but above could it survive couples therapy, they'd go there. But it's just, this is, I feel like, what's right in my heart to put them, you know? My favorite scene of theirs is when they're singing at each other, dude. That scene is so good. He matched her freak. They were both so angry at each other. And I can't think of what his character's name was, but his friend being like, tone deaf and drunk, not a good combo. That was so good. That was so funny. The next couple I think we're going to talk about is Rachel and Nick, Crazy Rich Asians. I've only seen this movie like 3 times, which is still, I guess, a lot. But them as a couple, like, everybody loves this movie. And I don't know, maybe I just don't get the hype behind it because I thought it was a little overrated, I'm not gonna lie. Please don't come for me, all the fans of Crazy Rich Asians, but I feel like them as a couple have, like, a lot of issues, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, he lied to her about being rich, which, like, I guess he didn't want her, like, using him for his money, I guess, but, like, at the same time, it's like, at some point, if you're really into her, wouldn't you be like, I'm rich? Or, like, on the plane ride there, like, bring her up to date about your family and, like, talk about your family and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like that was such a weird thing to lie about for that long. Also, I feel like we just didn't get enough scenes with them. I feel like the movie was very centered on, like, the relationship between Rachel and his mom and, like, their weird situation going on there, and, like, the movie was about her trying to convince his mom that she's, like, right for her son, and I feel like it just didn't show enough of, like, their personal relationship. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm, like, remembering correctly, but I feel like he also just, like, didn't stick up for her a lot of the times when her mom was, like, saying things about her. And I guess, like, I guess, to, like, on his defense, though, like, it was not a lot when she was around, if I'm remembering. Like, it wasn't blatantly obvious that, like, her mom, or his mom, and, like, all of his, like, female friends were, like, making her, like, go crazy a little bit. But, like, still, if she's telling you these things and, like, telling you that, like, she's feeling uncomfortable in, like, your family and you don't stand up for her, I feel like it's a red flag. And I could be completely remembering this movie wrong, and if I am, I'm so sorry. But I feel like them as a couple, I just didn't see enough of anything to rank them adequately. So I'm just gonna put it as surprised they made it to the end. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so sorry. I just didn't feel enough chemistry between them. I didn't feel like a spark between them. Sorry, like, I don't know. I couldn't put them in. I guess I could put them in breaking up during the credits, but, like, I don't think so. My gut is telling me to put them in bottom tier. So that's where they're going, unfortunately. My favorite scene of theirs is probably the wedding scene when she's, like, oh my god, that wedding was actually so beautiful. That was such a beautiful wedding. But I feel like that's really the only moment that I see them being, like, in love with each other, low-key. And I feel like if there's only one of those moments in a rom-com, like, it's not a good rom-com. And maybe it's not even a rom-com in general, I don't even know. But, like, I just didn't love them together. Sorry. We're gonna talk about Cher and Josh from Clueless. This movie I haven't watched either that much, but this relationship is like hella weird. Like they're step siblings and they get together. Like, what? That's so weird. That's literally so weird. Why they would have that? Like, why not? And I know they're not like related by blood, so it's like seems fine, but like it's still weird. It's still weird. I feel like if he wasn't her stepbrother, they would be cute together though. They do have, again, like an enemies to lovers type trope. Like he finds her annoying, she finds him annoying. Like they are always bickering and fighting. But because they are step siblings, it's just weird. I can't think about anything else but them being related. And it grosses me out. I feel like I'm not going to talk too much about this because it has been such a long time since I saw this movie. But I feel like they could have just made his character be like, because if I'm remembering correctly, he's there because he's like working for her dad or something like that. Like he works for her dad. So like why not make them not step siblings and he's just like doing an internship or something? Then it would have been a fine relationship, but it's not. I also feel like this movie is very much just like about her and not about like their coupling together, you know. We're not gonna talk about them anymore. I don't even think I have a favorite scene of theirs because all the scenes of theirs together when they're when they're kissing or when they're talking or when they're doing whatever is just like weird because in the back of my mind I know they're step siblings. So we're gonna put it surprised they made it to the end. I definitely could also see them breaking up like later on in life, like they go to different colleges or like she moves farther away from like her hometown and then it just doesn't work out and it just like naturally falls out, like the relationship just like falls out, you know. We're just gonna put them in the bottom tier. I don't know, if they weren't step siblings I feel like it'd be fine, but they are. Boo. Writers do better. Next, I think we're gonna talk about these last three couples are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like we could start anywhere. I feel like I'm gonna start with, let's just start Jane and Kevin, 27 Dresses. This rom-com is so underrated. So underrated. I feel like nobody talks about this movie enough. And these two, bro. Oh my god, these two, dude. They, again, enemies to lovers, which is my favorite trope movie. I feel like you can tell that by this ranking a little bit. These two, though, are like enemies, dude. They low-key hated each other in the beginning of the movie. And they're also, their sense of humor is just matched so well. They are both, again, sarcastic and very like, I'm always right type people, I feel like. Also, I have a bone to pick with everybody in the early 2000s that didn't cast James Marsden as a main character, main like rom-com character more, because why wouldn't you? He is so fine and he's funny. Like, why is he always these side characters in every other romance movie? Put him as the main one. Obviously, it works out this movie was good. Why wouldn't you hire him as the main guy? I'd pick James Marsden over anybody. Like, what? Okay, anyway, back to like them as a couple, I guess that's what this video is about. I feel like they work very well together, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I guess again, this wasn't like a bet, so to say, but he was like using her to get ahead in his job, which is icky, and could like, again with the Patrick and Kat thing, again with the Andy and Ben thing, like it could be a reoccurring thing in their relationship, like a reoccurring fight. I could definitely see that, but I don't know. I feel like he brings out a good side of her, like again a softer side of her. And in the beginning of the movie, like she was all about this other guy who like seemed to be like the perfect guy for her, like seemed to be like this and that, like just a perfect guy in general, I guess. And once she met him, like I guess she didn't know right away that he was like the one, but like I knew right away that he was the one, cuz I feel like she also can't be with like a pushover guy. And I feel like the first guy, I can't remember what his name is, but I feel like he would be a pushover type guy. And Kevin is not. I feel like Kevin stands up for himself, which I feel like is a good thing in a relationship. She also did freak out a little bit and like showed her crazy side when she like exposed her sister for lying to the guy that she was going to marry. He didn't like make her feel crazy for that, which is such like a honor or like a great thing, I feel like, on his part. Like he honestly, he was like, good for you. Like you are pretending to be this like perfect person and to be this like perfect daughter and perfect sister and like act like nothing bothers you, but like it clearly does. And like you need to stand up for yourself more. He said that multiple times throughout like the movie, that like, or like implied that multiple times throughout the movie, that like she should stand up for herself. And when she did, he was like, good for you. That's what you should have been doing the whole time. Like, I want a man that if I act crazy, he doesn't like say I'm crazy, you know? So for that reason, like I feel like they just work together. Like they're actually so perfect together if I'm thinking about it. And I feel like I don't think they would even need couples therapy. Like what are they gonna go to couples therapy about? I'm putting them in the blueprint behind Patrick and Kat, but in the blueprint nonetheless, I feel like they are so good together. And they would, oh my god, bro. Okay, my favorite scene is the whole scene with them in the bar. Everything is so perfect when they do the Benny and the Jets song. They're drinking. He's like, you should learn how to say no to people, whatever. And then, oh my god. And then they get down from the bar after singing the song. And then he's like, I cried like a baby at whoever's wedding. Oh my god, bro. That was so good. Oh, and another thing to add, how he like justified her being crazy, or how he was like, you need to stand up for yourself more, whatever. She also like brought out his softer side, because the whole movie he was like, he's very cynical and very like, I don't give a fuck about love, I don't care about like weddings, stuff like that. Like love ends at some point. Like he's just very like a non-believer in love. But she brought out that side of him of like, you know what, actually yeah, love is kind of cool. Like I don't know, they both brought out good sides of each other, and for that reason they're going in the blueprint. Sorry. So, I don't make the rules. I guess I kind of do. But next up, I think we're gonna save the best for last. So next up we're gonna go with the recently new rom-com and talk about Charlie and Harper from Set It Up. This movie, when it first came out, or when I first saw it, I rewatched it like 20 times. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly might watch this movie tonight. It was so good. It was everything. And this coupling, like, they were so good. They were so good together. Again, their humor matches very well. I feel like their chemistry is there. They, like, they're, I don't know, so good together. They're so good together. Their trope is, like, maybe friends to lovers-ish? I don't know. It's kind of like a will they, won't they, though type thing, because he has a relationship most of the movie, and she is, like, kind of on and off dating people, like, trying to meet new people to date, and he's, like, encouraging her to find new people to date when he's there the whole time. Like, why wouldn't you just pick him? I feel like they're more of a will they, won't they type couple than a best, or, like, a friends to lovers type thing. I feel like this relationship worked very well. I mean, there was a lie. If you haven't watched this movie, they both are like assistants to these very like high up people, and they work all the time, and like their bosses are kind of crazy and like just keep them at work all the time. And they're like, yo, what if we just set them up to date each other so then we get time off and we can go do whatever else we want to. That's pretty much like the movie. And the lie is he finds out that his boss is like cheating on her boss and keeps it from her. That's like the whole lie. And I mean, she was obviously justified to be mad about that, yes. But I feel like they worked it out at the end of the movie. I'm trying to think if like they brought out anything from each other. For the beginning part of the movie, he was very like, I want a perfect job, like I want to make all this money, and I want to have like this super hot girlfriend, and I want to like just be like a, I don't know, just like a boring guy, low-key. And I feel like she brought out his fun side, and she was like, you don't have to have like the girl that you're dating doesn't even like you. She didn't say that, but like she implied it. And I feel like she just brought out like a more fun side of him in the movie. I guess he kind of was like, because her thing was like, she is working for this lady and she wants to kind of be like her when she grows up. Like she wants to have her own company to run, kind of thing. But she never actually like followed through with it. Like when they got their bosses together and she had all this time off, like she was never like actually working towards it because she was scared that she was gonna fail type thing. And I feel like he brought out that like, you can do it, like just do it, like you have all this time off and you're not working towards it, like you could succeed if you tried type thing. I think I'm gonna put them in, they're not a blueprint couple, but they are a good couple. I don't think they're going to break up. I'm not surprised that they made it to the end of the movie. They were very into each other. I think I'm going to put them in could survive couples therapy. I'm going to put them before Peter and Laura Jean, after Margaret and Andrew. I feel like they were a very good couple, just like not, just when looking at all these other couples, they're not as strong, I think. Yeah, I don't know. My favorite scene of theirs was probably the pizza thing, when they were eating pizza, like $5 pizza in his room. That was like the first moment where they were like, wait a second, you're actually really cool. I could actually see myself dating you. And then later on when he's having dinner with like his boring girlfriend, and she's like, they were eating like $500 steak or something, and she's like, this is the best meal I've ever had. And he's like, the best meal I ever had was $5 pizza thrown up a fire escape. And then he breaks up with his girlfriend. That was good. Last but certainly not least, we have Laurie and Amy from Little Women. And this is Greta Gerwig's Little Women. It's the same like story in older versions of it, but oh my god, I don't know, I have so much to say. I could make a whole video just on my thoughts on Little Women, but we're just talking about Laurie and Amy right now. Oh my god, dude, I could say so much about this movie. I hear a lot of people saying like, Laurie and Joe should have ended up together, like Laurie and Joe are so much better, and blah 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 blah. Look, I hear you. I thought that way too when I watched the movie the first couple times, but like, oh my god, actually, you know what? My mind goes back and forth about this so often. Not that Laurie and Joe should have ended up together, because I don't think they should have. Joe never loved Laurie as much as Laurie loved Joe, obviously. And I don't think Joe should have ended up with anybody. She was very adamant that she did not want to be a wife, that she didn't want to be with anybody, and then they ended up making her marry somebody. What the heck? Anyways, it's not about Joe. The problem that I have with Laurie and Amy is this. Laurie was in love with her sister and then gets with her, like, and I'm not talking about like they had a little thing and like it fell out. No, he was like in love with her, confessing his love on a hill for Amy's sister, and then turns around and starts fucking doing stuff with Amy. What? As Amy, I would be like, bro, you literally just got with my sister. Why would I want to marry you? But then I think about it, and I think about like marrying, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels so one-sided. I'm not saying that he doesn't love her, but I'm saying like I don't think he loves her as much as he loved Joe. And I feel like she loves him more than he loves her. I don't know. I don't know how I really don't know how I feel about them. My thoughts change every day about these two. I don't know how you go from being so in love with somebody to then like switching and dating her sister and the feelings aren't there anymore. And I also like when they went back, like after they got married, after, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, after Beth dies, when they go back and he's up there talking to Joe and he's like, when he's like, I've always loved you, Joe, but like I'm with Amy now, blah blah blah. Like I feel like there's just so many unresolved feelings still. So it's like how real is this relationship? But I love Amy. I love Amy. I resonate with her character so much. Like just being the younger sister and feeling like I'm a second option, or like compared, or just like comparing yourself to like your older sibling, older sister especially. I just feel like I just don't know how she could ever not think about him being in love with her sister. Cause she knew it too. She knew that like he confessed her love, or she knew that he confessed his love for Joe and she turned him down. Like if she wouldn't have turned him down, they would have been married. Like I don't know, guys. I don't know. And again, this is not saying that Lori and Joe should have ended up together. I don't think that at all. I really, really don't. But I just feel like they don't make sense either to me. Like Lori and Amy don't. They make sense on her part. Like she was so into him from the beginning, and she low-key manifested that when like she was younger, like getting with him. But like it just something about it is just off. And that's what I have to say about that. I feel like I feel like I feel like I'm gonna put them in. I'm going back and forth right now between could survive couples therapy and breaking up during the credits. I just I don't think that they would break up during the credits. Like I feel like they are into each other enough and they could make it work out, but like yeah, I think they're going in the couples therapy thing. I just feel like that's a big thing to get over, you know, and you would need somebody to talk to about that, like a professional to help you through that. Because if if my sister's ex, any of her exes, came up to me and was like, "Yo, I'm in love with you," bro, I would be crazy to marry them. I feel like. So yeah, I'm putting them in the couples therapy. I think I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them right there, right in the middle. I feel like that's a good place for them. That's all the couples we have for this video. I feel like this is a good ranking. In the blueprint tier, we have Patrick and Kat. Then we have Jane and Kevin. I have nothing more to say about them. They were both like heavily influenced what I want my relationship to look like. Second tier, could survive couples therapy. We have Ben and Andy. Then we have Margaret and Andrew. Then we have Lori and Amy. Next we have Charlie and Harper. And last but not least, we have Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky. In the third tier, breaking up during the credits, we have Bianca and Cameron. So sorry. So sorry. And in the bottom tier, surprise, they made it to the end. We have, I feel like I'm going to get so much hate for that. We have Rachel and Nick. I'm so sorry. It's not that I didn't like, well, it is that I didn't like them, I guess, because I put them in the bottom tier. Sorry. Then we have Cher and Josh. It's just weird to date your step sibling. I'm sorry. I feel like I shouldn't have to say sorry about that either. I feel like that's a very known thing. Don't date your step siblings. Yeah, that was ranking rom-com couples if they last in the real world after the movie ends. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you don't miss any other videos on the channel. And if you want me to rank anything else, just leave it down below. I will. I'll rank more rom-com couples. I'll rank more movies, more TV shows, whatever you want to rank, I'll rank it. And I'll talk about my opinions on it. Trust me, I will. But yeah, that was this week's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah. Bye!